Today is the hands-off protest across the United States with more than 1,400 demonstrations scheduled in all 50 states across the country. These protests erupted even in deep red states, with reports suggesting that the turnout was even larger than in 2017, the Women's March, when that brought millions of people onto the streets in opposition to Trump and his administration. And I should remind you that that energy in 2017 ultimately culminated into Democrats winning the House by the biggest margin in modern American history, flipping a staggering 41 seats to Democratic control. Organizers of the protests noted three demands: an end to the billionaire takeover and rampant corruption of the Trump administration, an end to slashing federal funds for Medicaid, Social Security, and other programs that working people rely on, and an end to the attacks on immigrants, trans people, and other communities. And of course, one of these billionaires has opted to take the entirely wrong message out of today. In response to a video of Rachel Maddow discussing these protests, one of Elon's right-wing fanboy accounts posted, "Terror! Soros-funded Indivisible is openly admitting they are behind the 1,300 paid protests happening today in all 50 states. Democrat billionaires are funding these uprisings and they should be held legally accountable for the violence and vandalism." To which Elon tweeted, "They will be." Spooky framing, huh? Except, small problem here, there is no terror, no violence, and no vandalism other than what Elon Musk himself is doing to our government, our economy, and our jobs. And yet, pretty telling that this guy is so fucking drunk with power that his response to these protests against him, where millions upon millions of Americans have taken to the streets to peacefully speak out against this corrupt White House, is to threaten them with prosecution. This is the exact brand of fascism that so many Americans are protesting right now. Elon is proving in real time why it is so important that we do take to the streets. And I gotta say, for everybody who took to the streets today, the Trump administration sees it. They know what's happening. The fact that you went out and made your voice heard will have a massive impact. There is a reason, for example, that the Trump administration revoked the nomination of Elise Stefanik to be UN ambassador, because they were afraid that Republicans would lose a seat in a district that Donald Trump won by 21 points just this past November. And they saw what happened in Wisconsin, where they lost a Supreme Court seat by 10 points in a 50-50 states. And they saw what happened in Florida, where even though Democrats lost, they saw an average 16-point swing to the left. And now they see millions upon millions of Americans taking to the streets. That matters. It matters because this administration derives its power from the perception that it is untouchable, that it can act with impunity, that nobody has the power to fight back. These protests turn that notion on its head, and Trump knows it. And by the way, this isn't just significant for Americans. This is important for the international community to see as well. I know that oftentimes the actions of a country's government can impact the way that its citizens are perceived. And with the Trump administration's overt hostility to even our closest allies, I understand that that's probably coloring how the rest of the world sees us. But you need to know that many of us, most of us, feel the same way that you do. A number that is growing by the day. Know that we, as the American people, need all the allies we can get, from within our country and without, to fight back against the plague of Trumpism that has consumed our government and that's threatening to consume yours. And finally, my message to everybody, American or not, is to continue speaking out. Disabuse yourself of the notion that your voice isn't enough to make a difference, because together, as today showed, we end up with one of the biggest collective actions against the government in American history. Now is not the time to cower. Now is not the time to lick our wounds. Now is not the time for infighting. Now is the time to stand up, to speak out, and to fight back. It's a time for our elected officials to get out to every district and talk to voters, even in the reddest areas of America. It's a time for them to lead marches, to take to the floor of Congress and speak out, and to use every lever at their disposal. And it's time for the rest of our citizens, the rest of us, to flood the streets, flood the airwaves, flood social media, and make your voice heard on a daily basis as much as humanly possible. There is only one thing that will strike the fear of God into Trump and the GOP, and that is the knowledge that we are awake, that we are clear-eyed, and that we are so fucking ready to fight back.
Presidents who have the politics of Mussolini and the economics of Herbert Hoover. But now look, Elon Musk and the Silicon Valley billionaire mafia. literally sitting in the Kremlin. I want to tell you something.
Before you go, first, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we're now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they're willing to cater to this White House. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a great way for me to be able to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's completely free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support my work. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.